So here we are today in the King Valley at Whitfield, adjacent to the Gentilani Caravan Park, where we've been working on the King River for fish habitat as part of the King River Habitat Enhancement Program.
5 years ago we were talking to Andrew Briggs and he put it in our minds to put in for a fishing grant application for habitat restoration. Did a lot of work on it and got it.
So the need for this program came about after the extensive drought years, bushfires and floods in the King Valley, which had severely damaged the fish habitat in the river, and fish numbers were very low of both trout and native species. And so there was a recognised need to do something to return some deep water habitats into the river, to create some cold water, some refuge and high times of high flow, and just generally get the fish numbers back up again.
The King River is one of the two fastest moving or most active rivers in the state. It falls so much in a short distance. It's a very moving river. By putting these habitat items in the river, it helps slow the river down a little bit without blocking it, and it's always been a renowned trout fishery.
So this project has delivered works in two main reaches of the river, one here near upstream and downstream of Gentilani Caravan Park, and the other area is up near Cheshunt, just downstream of the town. These areas were selected so that they're easily accessible by recreational fishers, and people can come in and fish on the habitat that we've created, as well as see how the types of activities that can be done to improve habitat. The works were done over 3 main years in 3 separate works programs. That allowed us over time to create some habitat and then see how it performed, and then adapt our approach if we needed to as the project rolled on.
King is renowned for being a trout habitat. The protocols now is the Murray cotta coming up from the ovens. Beautiful clean fish in the clean water. They're adapting to a totally different environment. We're getting blackfish back in the river, which 3 or 4 years ago you wouldn't get a blackfish at all.
So over the lifetime of the project, we've placed upwards of 60 large granite boulders, over 250 large hardwood trees, 750 native trees and shrubs, and approximately 250 metres of fencing for stock exclusion over a 3-year lifetime of the project. One of the things that these types of structures do in breaking up the flow, they also break up the way that sediment is deposited and scoured within the bed of the river. So in behind where you have the low velocity areas, you get finer sediments dropping out, and in the faster areas you get the deeper scouring and the placement of the larger rocks.
They can then feel safe. If they feel safe, they'll breed.
When you look closely at the rocks that have been in for 2 years now, you can see the scour behind them and the finer sediments being established, vegetation starting to grow, and we hear locally from fishermen they're already catching fish off and around these structures, and certainly fish have been observed using them. So really exciting to see the project getting to that stage.
Already it's been successful with people catching fish off these structures, and I've noticed more fish being in the river. It's been successful even now, only after 3 years of construction. Been amazingly successful. People are coming out and fishing again.
Look, it's really exciting now that this project is coming to fruition. It took a long time in the planning and the delivery of it, and it's just really rewarding to see the impact that it's already having on the waterway.
It was very rewarding. Been a lot of hard work, but to see those kids out there catching their first fish, or even having the patience, getting them off their electronics and getting out in the water and throwing a line in.
This project would not have been successful were it not for a number of organisations coming together and adjoining landholders as well, which have been very supportive.
Like, it's picturesque perfect. It's just an amazing, beautiful, clean river.